Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Lisa, the place where you learn real English for real life. I am your host, Lisa.
And I am Paul. Hello to all our fantastic listeners around the world. We are so happy to have you in our classroom today.
Paul, today we have an incredibly important grammatical topic. It is a topic that causes confusion for almost every single English learner on the planet. In the first 10 seconds, I want to explain exactly how native English speakers talk about their daily responsibilities compared to new English learners.
I am listening closely. What is the big difference?
When a beginner English learner talks about their daily chores, they often use the word must for absolutely everything. They say, I must go to the supermarket. I must wash my clothes. I must wake up early. But a native speaker will almost never use the word must for those things. A native speaker will say, I have to go to the store, or I've gotta wash my clothes.
I must go versus I have to go. I hear this all the time. When a student uses must for every single sentence, it sounds very strange.
It does. It sounds overly dramatic. It sounds like you are an actor in a Shakespeare play, or a strict army general, or a robot. I must buy milk. I must eat bread.
The robot voice. Yes, it completely changes the feeling of the conversation.
It does. Today, we are going to fix this mistake forever. We are going to teach you exactly when to use must and when to use have to. We are going to explore the critical difference between internal obligation and external rules.
And we are also going to look at the negative forms, right? Because I know that is a massive trap.
Oh, the negative forms are the most dangerous part of this entire lesson. Mixing up mustn't and don't have to can cause terrible misunderstandings. We will also cover pronunciation, past tense, and advanced uses. This is a massive, highly detailed masterclass.
I am ready to level up my English. Let's jump right into our first situation.
Let's do it. Paul and I are going to act out a very common scenario. We are chatting on a Friday afternoon, making plans for the weekend. Listen closely to Paul's grammar when he describes his Saturday schedule. Hey, Paul, the weekend is finally here. Do you want to go to the park tomorrow morning? We could play tennis.
Oh, hello, Lisa. I would love to play tennis, but I cannot. My Saturday is very busy.
Oh, really? What are you doing?
At 8 a.m., I must wake up. At 9 a.m., I must clean my bathroom. At 10 a.m., I must go to the grocery store to buy chicken. And then at noon, I must do my laundry.
Wow, Paul, you sound like a soldier preparing for a war. You must buy chicken? Is the king forcing you to do it?
No, the king is not forcing me, but my refrigerator is empty. I must buy the chicken. Why are you laughing at me?
I am laughing because your weekend sounds so intense. Let's stop the role play and fix this heavy grammar. Okay, cut. Paul, your weekend chores are very normal, but your sentences were fundamentally awkward.
I know. I kept saying I must. I must wake up. I must clean. I must buy chicken. Why does this sound so dramatic to a native speaker? Both must and have to mean obligation, right?
Yes, they both express obligation or necessity, but there is a subtle yet massive psychological difference between them. Let's break it down into two simple categories: internal obligation versus external obligation.
Internal versus external. Okay, explain internal obligation first.
Must is generally used for internal obligation. This means the rule, the pressure, or the necessity is coming from inside your own mind. You, the speaker, feel strongly that it is necessary. It is a personal feeling of importance.
So if I say I must, I'm telling you my personal emotions are driving the action.
Exactly. For example, I really must call my grandmother today. It has been 3 months and I miss her. Nobody is forcing you to call her. There is no law, but internally your heart says it is necessary.
I see. I must lose some weight before summer. That's an internal goal.
Perfect example. Now let's look at the other side. What is external obligation? Have to is used for external obligation. This means the rule, the law, the schedule, or the necessity is coming from outside of you. It comes from your boss, society, a schedule, or just the facts of daily life.
Ah, like routines and chores.
Yes, daily chores are facts of life. Your empty refrigerator is a fact. It's an external reality. You don't have deep, emotional, internal feelings about buying raw chicken. It's just a chore you're forced to do to survive.
That makes perfect sense. So for my boring Saturday routine, what word should I use?
You should use have to. Let's fix your sentences from the role play. You said, at 9 a.m., I must clean my bathroom. Change it to the external routine grammar.
Okay, at 9 a.m. I have to clean my bathroom.
Perfect. It sounds completely natural and relaxed. What about the supermarket?
At 10 a.m. I have to go to the grocery store.
Excellent. And the laundry?
At noon, I have to do my laundry.
Flawless. Now you sound like a normal guy describing his weekend instead of a dramatic actor on a stage.
Let me summarize this golden rule for our listeners. Rule 1. If it is a personal, emotional, internal feeling of importance, use must. Example, I really must stop eating so much sugar. Rule 2. If it is a routine, a chore, a schedule, or an outside rule, use have to. Example, I have to work on Monday.
That is a brilliant summary. And here is a secret tip for beginners. If you are ever confused and you don't know which one to choose, always choose have to.
Always choose have to? Why?
Because in modern spoken English, native speakers use have to for almost everything. Have to is safe. It is 95% of our daily conversation. Must is much rarer in spoken English. If you use have to instead of must, nobody will notice. But if you use must instead of have to, you will sound like a robot.
That is the best advice ever. When in doubt, use have to.
But Paul, if we are going to use have to all the time, we absolutely must talk about pronunciation.
Yes, because native speakers never say I have to go clearly, do they?
No, we don't. Native speakers are very lazy with their mouths. We blend words together. Let's do a deep dive into conversational pronunciation.
I love pronunciation deep dives. Tell me the secrets.
When the word have is followed by the word to, the final V sound in have changes into an F sound, and the O in to becomes a soft sound.
A V becomes an F? So have to becomes have to?
Yes, HAFTA. HAFTA. I have to go.
I have to clean my room. We have to buy groceries. Wow, that flows so fast.
It does. Now, what happens if the subject is he, she, or it? We don't use have. What do we use?
We use has. He has to go.
Exactly. And in natural speech, the Z sound at the end of has turns into a sharp S sound. So has to becomes
Hasta. Hasta. He has to go.
brilliant. She has to work late. It has to be perfect.
So we have hafta, hasta, gotta. Listeners, practice these out loud. It will completely change your fluency.
Okay, Paul, we have mastered the difference between internal feelings and external chores. But what about serious, strict rules, like laws or company policies?
That is a great question. In our second role play, let's talk about the rules at my new office job. Let's see if I make any mistakes when explaining strict rules.
Okay, cut. Paul, you made a very interesting grammatical choice here. You used must for company rules.
Yes, because a company rule is an obligation. It is very strict. If I don't wear a suit, I get fired. So I used the strongest word, must.
It is true that must is a very strong word, and it is true that you will see the word must written on official signs and in employee handbooks.
Exactly. The sign in the bathroom says employees must wash their hands. The contract says employees must wear a suit.
That is the key. Written rules, laws, and formal notices use must. But, and this is a massive but in English grammar, when we speak about those rules in conversation, we almost always switch to have to.
Really? Even if the rule is incredibly strict?
Yes. Why? Let's go back to our golden rule, internal versus external. Did you, Paul, create the rule about wearing a suit?
No, the bank created the rule.
Exactly. The rule is 100% external. It comes from outside of you. Therefore, when you describe the rule to me, you must use the external grammar, have to.
Wow, so the rule is written with must, but spoken with have to.
Precisely. Let's fix your sentences from the role play. You said, I must wear a suit and tie.
The rule is external, so I have to wear a suit and tie.
Yes, you said, I must submit a huge report.
I have to submit a huge report.
Perfect. If you say, I must wear a suit, it sounds like you are deeply, passionately in love with suits, and your internal soul demands that you wear one.
I am definitely not in love with suits. They're uncomfortable. I only wear it because I have to.
Exactly. That is why have to is the correct choice. You are expressing that the obligation is forced upon you by the bank.
So, if a police officer pulls me over in my car, the law says drivers must wear a seatbelt. But when I tell my friend about it, I say, the police officer told me I have to wear a seatbelt.
You nailed it. Written authority, must. Spoken experience, have to.
This makes so much sense. I feel like the clouds are parting and the grammar sun is shining.
Enjoy the sunshine, Paul, because we are about to enter the danger zone.
The danger zone. Cue the dramatic music. What is the danger zone?
The negative forms.
Ah, must not versus don't have to.
Yes. In the positive form, must and have to are very similar. They both mean you are required to do this. The difference is just internal versus external. But in the negative form, they become complete opposites. They become mortal enemies.
Complete opposites? If I mix them up, what happens?
If you mix them up, you will either insult someone, break a law, or confuse everyone around you. Let's do a role play to show exactly how dangerous this mistake is. End of situation 3. Acting. Hey, Paul, thank you so much for inviting me to your dinner party tonight. I am really looking forward to it. I bought a bottle of expensive wine to bring as a gift.
Oh, Lisa, you're my best friend. You're a guest in my home. You mustn't bring a gift.
You mustn't bring a gift?
Yes, and I'm cooking a huge meal. You mustn't pay for anything tonight. It's my treat.
You mustn't pay? Paul, is it illegal to bring wine to your house? Will you call the police if I bring a gift? Are you forbidding me from being nice?
Forbidding you? No, I'm just saying it's not necessary. Why are you looking at me like I'm a crazy dictator?
Because your negative grammar just turned a friendly gesture into a strict legal prohibition. Let's stop the scene. End of situation 3. Okay, cut. Paul, you were trying to be a generous, kind host, but you used the word mustn't.
Must not, yes. I thought must means obligation, so must not means zero obligation.
No, that is the trap. Write this down in bold letters, listeners. Mustn't, must not, means prohibition. It means it is forbidden. It means do not do this under any circumstances. It is a strict rule or a dangerous action.
Prohibition. So when I said you mustn't bring a gift, I was actually saying it is strictly forbidden and completely unacceptable for you to bring a gift.
Exactly. It sounded incredibly aggressive.
Mustn't is used for serious warnings. Example, you mustn't touch that wire. It has electricity. Example, you mustn't smoke in the hospital.
Wow, okay, so I definitely chose the wrong word for a dinner party. What word should I have used to mean zero obligation, to mean it's not necessary, but you have a choice?
To express a lack of obligation, meaning you don't need to do it, but you can if you really want to, we use don't have to.
Don't have to.
Yes, let's analyze the difference. You mustn't go means you are forbidden to go. Stop. You don't have to go means it is not necessary for you to go. You can stay home, or you can go. It is your free choice.
Oh my goodness, they really are complete opposites. One removes your freedom, mustn't, and one gives you freedom, don't have to.
Exactly. Don't have to gives you a choice. Let's fix your sentences from the role play. You wanted to be a generous host and tell me a gift wasn't necessary.
Okay, instead of you mustn't bring a gift, I should say you don't have to bring a gift.
Perfect. That sounds friendly. It means you are welcome to bring wine if you want, but please don't feel pressured. And what about paying for dinner?
You don't have to pay for anything tonight.
Spot on. It means keep your wallet in your pocket. I am treating you.
This distinction is so incredibly vital. If I tell my boss you mustn't pay me this week, he will think it is a legal command. I should say you don't have to pay me this week, though I would never say that.
Good point. Let's do a massive rapid-fire drill on this because it is the most important part of the lesson. I'm going to give you a scenario. You must choose whether to use mustn't, forbidden, or don't have to. Not necessary, your choice.
I am ready. My brain is focused. Forbidden versus free choice. Let's go.
Scenario 1. You are talking to a friend about a party tonight. Attendance is optional. You come to the party if you are too tired.
It is optional, free choice. Answer, you don't have to come to the party if you are too tired.
Correct. Scenario 2. You are talking to a child standing near a busy highway. You run into the street.
That is dangerous. That is a strict prohibition. Answer, you mustn't run into the street.
Brilliant. Scenario 3. You are in a museum, standing next to a delicate 2,000-year-old painting. Visitors touch the artwork.
It is a strict rule, forbidden. Answer, visitors mustn't touch the artwork.
Spot on. Scenario 4. You finished all your work early on a Friday. Your boss says you can go home or stay. You stay until 5 p.m. today.
It is not necessary, free choice. Answer, you don't have to stay until 5 p.m. today.
Correct. Scenario 5. You are driving a car and the traffic light turns red. You drive through a red light.
It is illegal and dangerous. Answer, you mustn't drive through a red light.
Perfect. Last one, scenario 6. You are making a cup of tea. I offer you sugar, but you don't like sweet things. You add sugar if you don't want to.
It is a preference, not necessary. Answer, you don't have to add sugar if you don't want to.
Paul, you aced the drill. 100% correct. Listeners, if you can master this difference, you will avoid so many awkward and confusing situations in English.
It changes everything. Mustn't equals stop. Don't have to equals relax.
That's a great memory trick. Now, Paul, we have covered the present tense extensively, but time moves forward and backward. What happens when we need to talk about obligations in the past or the future?
Oh no, time travel grammar. Do I say I musted go or I will must go? Let's do a quick role play to show the confusion.
Situation 4. Acting. Hey, Paul, why didn't you come to my birthday dinner last night? We missed you.
Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry. Yesterday was terrible. I musted stay late at the office.
You musted stay?
Yes, and then my car broke down on the highway. I had to must call a tow truck.
You had to must call a tow truck?
Yes, and the mechanic said it will take 3 days to fix, so tomorrow I must take the bus to work.
Paul, musted, had to must, and will must. You are breaking the fundamental laws of space, time, and modal verbs. End of situation 4. Okay, cut. Paul, you fell into the time travel trap.
I tried to put must into the past tense by adding ed, musted. It sounded very wrong in my mouth.
It sounded wrong because it doesn't exist. The verb must has no past tense and no future tense. It only exists in the present. It is a defective verb.
What? If must has no past tense, how do I talk about obligations that happened yesterday?
You have to borrow the past tense of its twin brother, have to. What is the past tense of have to?
The past tense of have is had, so had to.
Exactly. Had to is the universal past tense for both must and have to. If you felt an internal obligation yesterday, or if you faced an external rule yesterday, the grammar is exactly the same. You use had to.
Wow, that actually makes it easier. I don't have to choose between internal and external in the past. I just use had to for everything.
Yes. Let's fix your sentences from the role play. You said, yesterday I musted stay late at the office.
Yesterday, I had to stay late at the office.
Perfect. You said, I had to must call a tow truck.
I just dropped the must. I had to call a tow truck.
Flawless. Now, what about the future? You said, tomorrow I must take the bus.
If must has no past tense, I must borrow from have to again, so I add the future helper will to have to.
Let's hear it.
I will have to take the bus.
Outstanding. I will have to take the bus. Or contracted, I'll have to take the bus.
Let me summarize the time travel rules for obligation. Present, must, internal, or have to, has to, external. Past, had to, universal. Future, will have to, universal.
That is beautifully clear. But Paul, there is one more negative trap in the past tense. What is the negative of had to if something was not necessary yesterday?
If the present negative is don't have to, then the past negative uses the past helper verb, didn't. So, didn't have to.
Yes, I didn't have to work yesterday, so I slept until noon. It means it was not necessary.
And is there a past tense for mustn't, like if it was forbidden yesterday?
Technically, you would say, I wasn't allowed to, or I couldn't. We don't usually use mustn't in the past tense for obligation.
English is full of fascinating little exceptions.
It is. Now, Paul, before we wrap up with our master story, I want to teach our listeners 2 advanced, high-level uses for the word must. We have spent this whole lesson talking about obligation, chores, rules, duties, but must has 2 other secret identities.
Secret identities. I love this. What is the first one?
The first secret identity is logical deduction. We use must when we are 99% certain that something is true, based on the evidence we see.
Give me an example of a logical deduction.
Imagine you see your colleague, Sarah. She has dark circles under her eyes, she is holding 3 cups of coffee, and she is yawning. You look at the evidence. What do you conclude?
I conclude that she is very tired.
Right. But instead of saying you are tired, which is a simple fact, you can use must to show your logical leap. You say, you must be tired.
Ah, you must be tired. It doesn't mean I command you to be tired. It means I logically conclude that you are tired.
Exactly. It is a deduction. Let's try another one. Imagine you look out the window. The street is wet, people are holding umbrellas, and there are puddles. What is your deduction?
It must be raining outside.
Perfect. It must be raining. It is a powerful way to express certainty. What if someone has been driving for 12 hours straight without stopping?
They must be exhausted, or they must be hungry.
Brilliant. Now, what is the negative form of a deduction if you are 99% sure something is not true? Do we use mustn't?
It mustn't be raining? That sounds weird.
It is weird. For negative deductions, we usually use can't.
Can't, really?
Yes. Imagine you see a man who looks like your friend John, but you know John is currently in Japan on holiday. You would say, "That can't be John. He's in Tokyo."
That can't be John. Wow, the logic of modals is complex, but it makes so much sense when you break it down.
Okay, what is the second secret identity of must? Are you ready?
I am ready.
We use must for strong recommendations. When you love something so much that you want your friend to experience it, you use must to show enthusiasm.
Oh, like a movie or a restaurant.
Yes, if you ate the best cheesecake of your life, you don't say, "You should try the cheesecake." That is too weak. You say, "You must try the cheesecake. It is amazing."
You must see this new movie. You must read this book.
Exactly. It is not a rule and it is not a chore. It is an enthusiastic recommendation. It shows passion.
So if I invite you to my city, I can say, when you visit Paris, you must go to the Louvre.
Flawless. That is exactly how native speakers use it.
Lisa, my brain is completely full. We have covered internal obligation, must, external routine, have to, pronunciation, have to, gotta, spoken rules, have to, danger zone, mustn't versus don't have to, time travel, had to, deductions, and recommendations.
We have covered it all, and that means it's time for the ultimate test. It's time for the master story.
Oh, yes. I'm going to tell a story about my chaotic trip to the airport last week. I'm going to try to use every single grammar structure we learned today. Listeners, grab a coffee, pay close attention, and see if you can spot all the rules.
Challenge accepted. Take it away, Paul.
Here goes. Last Tuesday, I had a flight to New York. When I woke up, I looked at the clock and realized I was late. I said to myself, I really must hurry or I will miss my flight. Internal feeling. I skipped breakfast because I had to pack my suitcase quickly. External routine in the past. I grabbed my bags and ran to the taxi. The driver was going very slowly. I said, "Excuse me, I have to get to the airport by 9 a.m. Can you go faster?" External schedule. The driver replied, "I'm sorry, sir, but the law says I mustn't speed on this road. Strict prohibition." When we finally arrived, I looked at the long line for security. I thought, this is going to take forever. The flight must be fully booked. Logical deduction. I got to the front of the line, and the security guard looked at my tiny bottle of shampoo. He said, "Sir, you mustn't bring liquids over 100 milliliters through security. Written rule or forbidden." I threw the shampoo in the trash. Then he said, "But you don't have to take off your shoes today. We have a new scanner." Lack of obligation, free choice. I was so relieved. I finally made it to the gate, sweating and tired. My friend called me on the phone and said, "You sound exhausted. When you get to New York, you must go to my favorite pizza place to relax. Strong recommendation." I smiled and said, "I will, but first, I gotta catch this plane." Lazy native pronunciation.
Standing ovation, Paul. That was an absolute masterpiece of grammatical storytelling.
Thank you, thank you. It was a stressful trip, but it made for a perfect English exercise.
Let's quickly review the highlights for the listeners. You used "I must hurry" for your own internal panic. You used "I had to pack" because it was the past tense of obligation. The driver used "mustn't speed" because it is an illegal, forbidden act. You deduced the flight was full, must be fully booked. The guard gave you a choice, don't have to take off your shoes. Your friend gave a passionate recommendation, must go to my favorite pizza place.
And you ended with the perfect native slang, I gotta catch this plane.
It feels incredible to weave all of those complex rules into one natural, flowing story.
Listeners, if you can write a paragraph or tell a story like Paul just did, seamlessly moving between must, have to, mustn't, and don't have to, you will shock native speakers with your precision and fluency.
The key is to stop translating directly from your native language, because many languages just have one word for all of these concepts. You have to start thinking about the feeling behind the obligation. Is it a rule? Is it forbidden? Is it a choice?
Exactly. English grammar is all about the subtle shades of meaning.
Well, Lisa, I think we have successfully conquered must and have to. We have saved thousands of learners from sounding like dramatic robots.
We have indeed, but a Talk Lisa lesson is never complete without a homework assignment. We must give our amazing listeners a challenge to prove their new skills.
Yes, we want to see you practice these exact structures in the comments section below. Typing it out yourself is the absolute best way to cement the grammar in your long-term memory.
We have a specific two-part challenge for you today. Look at the pinned comment below the video.
The challenge is to describe your perfect day off from work or school. We want you to finish these 2 sentences.
Sentence 1, tomorrow is my day off, so I don't have to. Tell us what chore or routine you are escaping. I don't have to wake up early. I don't have to wear a uniform. I don't have to commute.
Sentence 2, but I really must. Tell us about a personal internal goal or a strong recommendation for yourself. But I really must read that new book. But I really must call my best friend. But I really must try baking a cake.
Write both of your sentences in the comments below. Don't be shy. The Talk Lisa community is a safe, friendly, and supportive classroom. We love seeing your creativity.
We read every single comment, and we will reply and give you a heart or gently correct any tiny mistakes so you can keep improving.
Thank you all so much for dedicating your time to learning with us today. This was a massive, deep dive masterclass, and you should be very proud of your focus and dedication to improving your English.
We make a great team. Keep practicing your obligations, remember to soften your pronunciation with have to and gotta, and never ever tell someone they mustn't bring you a gift.
We will see you in the next episode, everyone. Have a wonderful, productive, and grammatically perfect day.
Bye for now. Stay curious and keep learning.